Hey, what's up, guys? This is your girl, Ashley Wells, coming at you with another wonderful Thanksgiving story. And I know, guys, you guys are probably so sick of time and messing my hair, but listen, I've went almost a whole year with my hair to like this length, and it's an adjustment getting used to long hair. It tickles, it itches your neck, trust. So I gotta get used to it all over again. Having long hair again. It's yeah. So, all right, guys. So, we're going to share another wonderful Thanksgiving story. Yeah, because let's just be real. Thanksgiving time is here, guys, and there's nothing like just being in the wonderful ambiance, warmth, joy, and sharing great memories. So, on that note, let's see. Let me go in my vault. It's not many of them, but let's see. One pretty cool Thanksgiving story was so kind of see why my mom was single because this year, of course, my mom didn't cook. Her boyfriend came in to save the day again, and this is so interesting. So my mom's boyfriend's mother boyfriend was hosting Thanksgiving dinner. Uh, Dude did this right because one dude had little Mooney. So he had the house, the space, and accommodation to host a really nice spread. And guys, you would have thought it was like Miracle on 34th Street. I ain't never in my life at that time experienced anything like this. Dude had a beautiful, massive ranch style house, guys. I mean, just the thing looked like it could wood for miles. It was so beautiful. Long driveway. And I mention this because these are rare things I had experienced as a kid growing up. You know, I'm a projects kid. So seeing things like this was just bar none. So beautiful home. We walk in, and I never forget. You had to take them shoes off, y'all. You had to take them shoes off. Beautiful, plush, fluff, golden, not golden, but like beautiful, white carpet. He had a white room, which was all white furniture in his living room. And then when you go straight ahead was the kitchen and dining room. Kitchen was huge. The dining room, I will never forget. The dining room facing offset of the table was this beautiful long open window. So you could sit there and just look out the window. And it was not a typical little teeny little window. Guys, it was massive. It was a huge window. And I'm like, wow, beautiful scenery. And of course, guys, Thanksgiving typically usually is beautiful, gorgeous days. And this was a beautiful sunny day. So, you got to enjoy your Thanksgiving meal while looking out this beautiful window. Absolutely stunning. And there was this extra long, beautiful, decorated cloth covered table with the beautiful utensils, the plates, the elegant glasses. Dude did this right. If there was ever a time for my mom to marry somebody, it was then. Because, or at least my mom's boyfriend's mother, because dude did it right. He, very elegant, guys. Very elegant. And again, project chick like myself, my mother, we didn't use all this exquisiteness, you know what I'm saying? We were paper plate people. And just to see, stainless steel polished utensils and beautiful porcelain plates with gold trimming around it, we listen. And that's just that. Now the meal itself, the Thanksgiving meal, I do not remember who cooked that because there was some people in the kitchen, and some black families, when it's going down that kitchen, only VIPs are welcome in that kitchen. And I remember as a kid, you couldn't even step foot. If you want a glass of water, you had to send a memo to somebody so they can make that happen. So, but very gorgeous, and no one could sit in there in the dining room or anything like that until everything was done. So, but the house smelled so good. Oh god, the smells, the pies, the desserts, and we're not talking about, guys. This was enough food to seriously probably put an Italian family to work. Usually Italians, they do the 6 course meal. I damn near want to say this was like a 12, 14 course meal. Massive, as most Thanksgiving meals are. But again, coming from my background situation, you might have the turkey and maybe 4, 5 other options with that turkey and a pie, and that's it. So while we're waiting for the food to get done, they have all the kids in a room, and it's like the TV room for kids where you can play Sega. And this is back then when Sega was big. You can play Sega or watch cartoons or a Disney film or whatever you wanted to do. The kids had the option to do that in this room. And this was not a little room. This was a big room with a water bed in it. So again, I had never encountered a water bed. So back then, guys, water beds was really big. They were a big thing. So we're jumping on the water bed and just this is fun. And then one of the adults came in because we're trying to jump on the water bed as if it's an actual traditional mattress spring bed. And they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that because it can make it bust, and then you had to make sure you had no sharp objects on you because that again can make it bust. So when the adult told us not to do that and watch out, certain things to be aware of while being on this bed. Of course, you had a little kid. I don't know. I didn't know these kids. It was the first time I met these kids. But one of the little boys was like, is it really going to bust? And we was all like, I don't know. Let's see. It did. I don't know where the little kid had a little pin, like a little needle. And I don't know where on earth he got it. He just like, ching, pin. He's like, I want to see if the water really comes out. He pops it, and sure enough, a little stream of water does come out, and it's just coming. I don't know what on earth we were thinking that it was. Now, see, in my mind, I thought the material was so thick it wouldn't pop it, but regardless, you're talking about a needle practically against a balloon, regardless. So he popped it, and I remember the water just streaming out, and it's just getting on the linen, getting on the floor, and where he popped it, it was like in the upper corner of the bed, in between the nightstand. So he hit himself and popped it, and then all the water was coming out right there. Before it got too bad, sure enough, we got signal that the food was done. So we all came running out the room and shut the door. And, the little boy was like, oops, what should we do, guys? What are we going to do? And I'm like, we got to tell the adults. But, this is the ass whooping era. This is when parents that had no safeguard are in beating the crap out your ass, rightfully so, if you did something wrong. So, and we wanted to eat, so we just say nothing. Snitches get stitches, literally. So we just say a damn thing. We just shut that door behind us, like, okay, let's get the food. And oh my God, when we walk into the room, now mind you, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, is it gonna be a ocean in that room forming, but in the back of my mind, then I see all this. I walk up towards the edge of this long, beautiful, incredible table, and just all the food. Guys, they had a ham and they had a turkey, dead centerpieces of the table. I mean, like along the aisleway. So they had the ham and they had the turkey in the middle of the table, and then on both sides was all the trimmings, and it was like probably eight massive, beautiful, elegant bowls with trimming. So literally it was like a 16-course Thanksgiving meal. But now that's not even it. In the kitchen, a woman came out, and there was another little table adjacent to the main table, which is towards the opening of the kitchen. And there was a huge spread of different desserts, guys. And we're talking about over 10 desserts. Yes. Spanish for 10. Desserts. Apple pies, cherry pie. And we ain't talking about no store bought, y'all. These was all handmade from scratch. I don't know who made them. And this was a wonderful time in my life where I did not have to worry about allergies, so I could eat any damn thing I wanted to. Yeah, all kinds. Butter pie, which is AKA chest pie. Oh my god. Apple and it was an apple and peach cobbler, which oh, mouth watering now, guys. It was so much food. It gave you the food coma just looking at it. And one thing about this guy's house I do give respect was he didn't believe a TV, because a lot of times people would try and watch football games, around a table, or the guys would take their meals into the living rooms. But this dude was really legit, because he was like, no, this is family time. Once everyone has at least their first plate helpings and we all talk and everything, then everybody can do and go into the living room and whatnot and watch TV. So dude was legit on some family stuff, and it was the first time I ever experienced where we all went around a table and gave thanks. We verbally said what we are thankful for and what we wish to accomplish this year to make it legit. So I've never experienced that before, and I was like, what? I didn't understand what that meant. And this was expected for children and adults. And then there was no table away for kids to eat. No, we everybody ate at the table, kids and adults alike. And he was adamant about that too. And I was like, damn. And I looked at my mom like, is it shit? She's like, girl, you better do it. Because it was something we weren't used to. It was very different. And I'm very thankful that, that was encouraged, because it truly set the bar for me to be more humble and be more thankful and realize like how blessed and, you can be and take advantage of those blessings. So that was an excellent lesson. But yeah, guys, so that was one of my wonderful, fun, interesting Thanksgiving stories. And as for that bed, I have no idea. I didn't say a word. As terrible as that sounds, I did say something like 2 years later though. But you know what happened? I think I can't remember the exact timeline, but I do remember my mom's boyfriend's boyfriend, their relationship didn't last that much longer after that Thanksgiving dinner. So probably was the bad situation for all I knew. But I told my mom 2 years later though. So I don't know whatever happened to the bad situation. I didn't ask, I just waited to further down the line to say something, but yeah, guys, so that's it in a nutshell. So stay tuned for the next one.